So in this module, let's talk about barcodes. There's a couple different type of barcodes you need to be aware of when you're selling on Amazon. One is called the FN SKU, FNSKU, FN SKU. It's not necessary, but I highly recommend you have it. You can ship into Amazon by using just what's called a UPC barcode, but sometimes, especially if there's multiple sellers on the listing or some items get returned, you can have commingled inventory and it can create some problems. So depending on how you're selling, if you're the only seller, you could get by with just the UPC. But if you're selling with other people and other people are actually on the listing, then you're probably going to want to use an FN SKU. The FN SKU is assigned by Amazon when you create a new product listing on Amazon in Seller Central. And we're going to do a little walkthrough of that and show you how to get that in just a second. For the UPC, there's a lot of places where you can get UPC codes. They're sold on eBay. There's some companies that specialize in selling these UPC codes, and their prices are pretty cheap. But I highly recommend you don't do that. I highly recommend you go to the official site called GS1. It's gs1.org, and buy your barcode there. Now, it's going to cost you a little bit more money, but Amazon actually requires you to actually get it from GS1. They haven't been enforcing that completely in the past, but they're starting to now, where when you enter the barcode, they're actually checking the GS1 database to make sure you're actually registered there. The problem with all these barcodes where you can get them a lot cheaper is what's happening is people are buying prefixes. In the old days, before GS1 changed the way they work, you could just buy a prefix and you could make up the additional numbers after it. So some of these people have those from the past, and they're just making up numbers after it and then selling them to you for a low price. But the problem with that is those numbers get reused. And so you actually might buy one of these barcodes and then try to list it on Amazon, and you may get an error that says this already exists on Amazon. It's a problem, and so I highly recommend you don't go that route, especially if you're successful and you end up selling in retail stores. You know, if you end up going into Walmart or any of the Bed Bath & Beyonds or any of the other type of retail stores, you're going to have a GS1 barcode. So I recommend you do that from the start. Now, GS1, the way it works is there's a one-time fee when you first sign up, depending on how many barcodes you buy. You can buy 1, you can buy 10, you can buy 100. It depends on how many you want to buy. You probably don't need to buy a whole lot in the beginning. And then there's an annual renewal fee that you have to pay every year to renew it. So it is a cost, but it's a necessary cost. Now, on your packaging, you have a choice where you can actually, I would not put both barcodes on your packaging. I would put either the UPC or the FN SKU. If you want to put the UPC, you can actually, when you go to GS1, you'll be able to, when you sign up for it, they have a little, you'll go and fill out a little form where you tell your product title, you tell if it's a live product or not, tell a few other things about the product, and then there's an option there to actually download the actual barcode. So you can download a file and give that to your graphics design people straight from GS1. That'll have the barcode with all the little bars and everything in it. For Amazon, if you decide to use the FN SKU, when you set up a new product listing, Amazon also will allow you to download that. Amazon will allow you to download that and actually print it onto labels, and it also allow you to just download it like as a PDF, and that way you can send that to your graphic designer as well. So when you're doing your packaging with your manufacturer, you're gonna have to decide, do I want to put the UPC on it or do I want to put the FN SKU on it? But don't put both. In most of my cases, since I'm the only seller, I'm only putting the UPC. And that way I'm set up to where if I do go into retail, the boxes are already done, because the FN SKU is specific to Amazon only. It's not good outside of Amazon. Now, sometimes when you ship into Amazon, Amazon will relabel your products and stick an FN SKU over the top of your UPC. But if Amazon chooses to do that, that's on them. You don't have to worry about that. If you request Amazon to do that, then they're going to charge you a fee. But in the past, the UPCs are totally fine and should be good enough. But some people like to put that FN SKU on there. And if you do, I'm going to show you how to set that up here in just a second. There's another way. Sometimes you don't need a barcode at all. There's what's called a GTIN exemption on Amazon. And this is more for like handmade products. And there's a few other categories that are eligible for that. You'll want to check on Amazon and Seller Central when you're setting up. There's a little link there that you can actually click that will actually show you if you're eligible for a GTIN exemption or not. And if that's the case, then you actually don't need to enter a barcode. But the barcode is something that is super important. and you're going to want to make sure you get it right and have that for when you're setting up your listing. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to show you how to get that FN SKU in a little demo right now. So let's take a look. So I just want to show you actually where to get the FN SKU when you're logged into Seller Central. So we're going to show you this in a later module, how to actually add a product. You would come into inventory right here and hit add a product, and it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. We're not going to walk through that step right now because that's covered in another module. But once you've already added a product, I want to show you how to actually get the FN SKU. So you can just come here in this Manage FBA Inventory tab right here, and you can see this column right here. See where it says FN SKU? This is the FN SKU. So you can just take that number right there, and that's the FN SKU number. Now if you want to print labels from this, there's a couple different ways to do it. Helium 10 has a pretty cool tool that you can log into Helium 10. You can just copy and paste this FN SKU and go into Helium 10 and paste that into the barcode generation tool, and it will actually create the FN SKU for you, and you can add additional graphics and additional things and then print out a JPEG or PDF or a file that you can give to your manufacturer that's nice and pretty. Or you can actually print them straight here from Seller Central. But if you want to do it from Seller Central and not from inside Helium 10, you can do it right here by just clicking on, if I want to get a label for this item right here, this top item, I would just click right here. So you see the check mark and this little pull down right here where it says action on one selected. I can just say print item labels. You see where it says print item labels there? I could say print item labels, and then I could just choose, this is going to print stickers. You can just choose, it doesn't matter really. I usually do the 30 up right here. What this is going to do is actually print a whole sheet of labels, but all we really want is one of them. But I'm just going to say print labels and say OK. And then down here, it's actually going to make me a little PDF that you can open up. And you see right there is the label. And so I could just download this file and give that to my graphic designer or my manufacturer, and they could put this barcode straight on my packaging or on the sticker that's going on the outside of the packaging, or however you're doing it. This part here where it says Helium 10 backpack new, that part doesn't have to be on there. You can just do the label with the X blah 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 right below it. So you can include that Helium 10 backpack, that little description if you want, or you can take that off. But your graphic designer or your manufacturer will be able to work with this. So that's how you would get the FN SKU. If you go to GS1, it's a very similar process. I'll show you that right now. So in order to get your UPC code, you're going to go to GS1 as you see here on the screen, and you're just going to say get your barcodes right here, and just follow the instructions that GS1 gives you to actually get the barcode. You're going to have to pay, you're going to choose the United States. You can choose another country if you're selling in another country, but I would choose the United States if you're selling in the US Amazon Marketplace. And then it'll just walk you through here estimating how many you need. It'll walk you through all the pricing. You can see here that you can get 10 of them for $250 initial fee and a $50 annual renewal. They have a number of different options. So just follow these instructions. And once you've done this, I'm going to now log in, and I'm going to show you actually how you would actually get the barcode file. So let me log in to access my barcodes. So I'm going to log in here to my account, and you can see that this particular one I bought 10. I've got 3 available. I've already used 7 of them. So if I wanted to actually get one of my barcodes, these are some of the different ones I have here for one of my products. So I can just click on the information. You see where it's information. You can see where you enter the description, the brand name, a few other things. I always say that the status is in use, even though it may not be in use yet. I always say it's in use, and you can see right here where it says at the top barcodes. You can just click on that, and you can say preview barcode, and there's your barcode right there. And then you can choose your image type. Most of them are PNGs, and you say download, and then it'll download a PNG of it, and then you can take this file and give that to your manufacturer or your graphic design person, and that's all there is to it. We'll see you in the next module.